As we kick it off on Mirage, a beautiful map to begin with. I'm not bored of it yet.
Certainly not. Team Falcons on that T side and 5 players towards middle. MBK, MHL and Boros lead the way with the bomb, and they take a little bit of damage there to kick things off. And this pistol round will be indicative. Oh, hold on. They just double smoked the same position.
They did just do that.
That's not the great start you're looking for. That's actually like, if that's a sign of things to come, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you're looking to need. Oh,
okay.
That might also be a sign for us to get the opening. Let's see how much of an omen that's going to be for the Falcons team. Tess is a little bit in the back. They got the boost up in the corner with the dualies. Good shot, and Boros is put to sleep. And the dualies are activated. It's a good kill for Yabi, but still, Body's there to return it. And it's actually a 2-on-3 with the bomb about to go down. This could be one. Falcons, a little bit of a head position here.
It was a very strange start to the round, but the Falcons have found their footing on the B bomb site here. 3-on-2, make it 1. Cadian has been dropped, and Shush won't be far behind. So about the best outcome you could possibly hope for there. A little B split coming through, and a Boros P250 kill to crack things open there towards middle. A double smoke towards Connector. I'll try and give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was like a GUI bug or something, but that's really odd. I've never seen that before. Double smoke in a pistol round like that one. It has to be so specific. You only got limited utility, but it doesn't matter. It's Body doing amazing work there with the Glock. MBK chiming in as well, and it will be Falcons fending off Heroic as we get to round number 2 here, and we've got a bit of a pause. So we are ready to go. Should be the Eco, but looks of things from Heroic here. Yet to purchase anything in round number 2, but a bit of a technical timeout, and there's a chance to catch our breath. I'm going to ask you. What's your prediction?
Well, Henry, we've set it up nicely. I feel like I couldn't possibly try to manufacture a Falcons outcome here. I wish I could, but I've also there's the Danish connection on that side.
I will just say, Team Falcons, in terms of them being at this tournament where we've got 8 of the top 10 teams in the world here, their organization represents the region, right? So they were invited here, and that's the reason, and you can see they've got a lot of fans in the arena here as well. We hope they can deliver. It's the best possible start. If they can fend off this second round potential force buy, that would be amazing. It looks like we've got quite a deep technical issue here, though, Anders. We're on Windows there.
Well, maybe a time, because obviously the man standing behind Heroic is Exist, that most people watching Counter-Strike for a minute will have known, but behind Falcons is Ostriker, who's been around for a really long time.
He has, hasn't he?
So a lot of experience in that. A little bit older than most of the guys, obviously, on the team itself. So he's got a lot of experience, and he's really, really dedicated. I've talked to him a couple of times about the team. I definitely think that's something that's going to be helpful as well, with a team that just has less experience on land than obviously Heroic do, just given how everything's played out. But yeah, this is destined to be a very, very tough game. But the fact that they won the pistol round, I mean, that's your first tiny check mark. It's a long list, you have to go through here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, this was one of the kind of the other 20 variables needed to win this game. That's one of them ticked off. You're right. But now the second one is, can you push back the force buy, which has come through. Desert Eagles and a scout for Cadian, 5-7 for Shush, and need to convert this one to even start the conversation. They could do something on this map here, and they're going to be focusing their efforts here towards the A ramp. The scout of Cadian, it looks like he was almost destined for a kill there. MBK gets the better of him, but a tag does connect. 5-on-4 for now in favor of the Falcons as they try and inflict damage with that scout. Nice grenade. Doesn't do too much damage.
It had the potential, definitely. There were, just a second ago earlier, there was like 2 or 3 people there, so it could have been something. Bomb's back in T-spawn. And they've left Body up in the Palace. Very common position, especially if you're going to go middle or B, because you have the chance, you can turn it into an A split if you really want to, but you also have the chance to have that person just shooting anyone who's rotating out of the A bomb site in the back, because typically they're going to be running and not walking out of the site, so a little bit of a chance to get some revenge there. Boros in the middle, it's going to be Body. There we go, the backstab from the Palace. Good timing on everything right now. Yabi, a little bit confused, don't know what he thought he saw, but there was no one underneath him. He's going to go down in the end.
It's looking like this is quite the compelling round here. Not quite the clean sweep, but a 4 versus 1. Shush for the AK-47, and he is booking it towards T-spawn. The hunt will be on, though. There's no way they'll allow him to survive with the weapon. Looks like his days are numbered regardless, as Boros will seal the deal. 2-0, and presumably 3, because it's a full eco coming up next. So yeah, this is the absolute best start they could have hoped for. The Falcons are soaring. And you can hear the crowd are absolutely loving it. It's early days here, guys, but I do love the intensity. This is what they need they're going to need the crowd on their side throughout this campaign. These things are going to get a little bit more tricky in the next round. We are going to see P250s here, a single HE and a flashbang for the Heroic side. And in terms of a stack, looks like they'll send 3 players towards A, and we've got Tessis patrolling the window here. Almost nothing can be done. Finding a couple of kills would be a victory in its own right. So, tentative for now, Falcons waiting for any potential aggression.
You know what I love? They have the one guy down in front of the crowd who's orchestrating the whole thing, who's putting together the
well,
song.
bear in mind, we've talked about it a lot, but this might be the only showing they have. So you've got to give it the beans here. You've got to give it absolutely everything. This probably the only series they're going to play in the tournament. So show full support, treat it like it's the grand final.
You have to.
For them, it might be.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the format does. It kind of almost makes every single match, you know, a playoffs game. You just have to treat it that way. Third round here, and an HE and a flashbang on the side of Heroic. Couple of upgraded pistols, but it is very scarce at the moment. And I think Falcons are treating this round fairly respectfully, which I don't really mind. And hopefully that's also something that they are able to do, because like we said, Boris is a wild animal at times, so, you know, putting a leash on him, I imagine, could also be very tricky. I'm sure, you know, especially with the veterancy of someone like MBK, you are going to be able to try and impress upon him that there are certain rounds where you don't just have to hunt for everything, and this is definitely one of them. Keep it a tight little circle, make sure that no one's going to be running away and giving away any rifles here, and that's pretty much what they're doing. They're using the utility, they're using the smokes, the Molotovs to burn out all the close positions, and now they're going to be able to get the kills that they need. Body with a couple there, Boris, second kill of the round for him, and they cleaned it up, only losing NBK. So yeah, it's a slow round, but I don't really blame them.
So just looking at the previous results for Falcons as well, they haven't played many games together in the last 3 months. Last map was a best of 1 against Into the Breach, a 16-5 loss in Ancient. Then played Aurora as well in a best of 3, a 2-0 stomping, unfortunately for them. So haven't found much success, but it is a new lineup, of course, and they're trying to rebuild, restructure, and a great start here. And now this is where things will probably change dramatically. The AWP is out, the full buy, and like we said, Heroic have got one of the most recognizable CT sides in all of Counter-Strike. Very active, in your face, don't allow you to run your strategies, run your defaults. They'll be up in your grill, making things uncomfortable, but for now, pretty static. You see that deep smoke down towards the underpass. Boris just ensuring that no one's waiting behind it.
And you have to assume that's a conversation that Falcons themselves will have had going into this game about that Heroic CT side. They must know, and that's maybe also why they're frozen so far back on the map at the moment. They are expecting that there's going to be some madness coming up from the Danish side, so not really too surprised by that.
Right.
Still 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock here. So they smoked the middle again, and there's going to be some very, very late mid-control for Falcons, so they've... I don't know if you want to call it wasted time, but they've certainly run a lot of time off the clock here on the T side, just waiting for Heroic to make a move, which hasn't come at all.
Well, they know the resources will be there for Heroic, but not complete. So if you can bleed out as many grenades as possible, then execute together, who knows, maybe it's the right approach. And for now, it's actually looking pretty good. They're not taking any damage. They're starting to ascertain control. Now, it looks like a B split, potentially. We have 2 players in towards the B apartment, and the bomb will go join them as well. CTs not actually exploring the map too much. They don't have much information to work with. I can see Shush up close towards the A ramp, and it's a crossfire setup in towards B, and they will be tested. With Cadian in towards the window, gets caught with a grenade in his hand, and should be able to find his first kill. Takes down Longs, and will they commit it towards the B site? They will, and you can see he's making light work of them. 3 kills for Cadian. MBK might be able to get a double here. It certainly guarantees the first, but the round might be too far gone.
Yeah, unfortunately, 10 seconds left is the real issue. I think if they had 40 seconds maybe, in the 2 versus 4, there's a chance for another couple of duels, but they just don't have the time to actually clear out the bomb site. So a little bit unfortunate, and maybe a little bit reckless as well. If you're going to go for that kind of a play, you can throw the smokes that actually block off Cadian's position. And also, there's 3 people that all took up the same space in that little gap there, so maybe could have forgot about it and pushed forward.
For me in this Falcons game right now, like, they've got nothing to lose here, right? Like, just turning up, just putting a good performance, that would be enough. I would just like to see like a kind of end sort of game style here from them. Lots of set pieces, lots of rushes, keep it chaotic, and like at least you'll be buying space. So you're getting bombs down. I think running defaults against Heroic won't be the best approach, if you ask me. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but this slow-paced gameplay, I just don't think it's going to do massive amounts for them. But that's the first gun round done and dusted as we see it go 3-1. Heroic now in the driving seat as they collect an AK-47 for Tesses. Cadian back on the orb after getting a nice hat trick there. But you could see there were gaps in the execution there. Like, Cadian wasn't blind, he wasn't smoked off. He just had 3 shots, 3 kills. Wasn't even worth getting that excited about, but maybe that is MHL with the opening frag on the aforementioned Cadian there. Early 5-on-4, that's what they needed. Yabi trying to make up for it now, and he'll be dropped by Boris as well. This is looking very good for Falcons.
So it certainly is. And it actually almost looked like Yabi had the timing to get the double spray down, but Boris very, very quick to react. He is 6-2 right now, and you just have to keep an eye on him at all times. Once he's up and running, he is a name that many people have had on their lips for quite a bit here. 3 versus 5 in this round, and plenty of time still on the clock. They've got a player in the middle in MBK, which is kind of holding the top of it, and what a shot from Lonks as well. Definitely someone who, for a while there, during the Academy League days, had a lot of spotlight on him as well, and I think for good reason. You know, there's just so many new players that are coming in. It's hard to remember all of the ones that, you know, look promising, but he's definitely one of them, and I don't think that memory's really faded yet. Shush is going to steal the AWP to try and make a run for it, see if he can escape this one. He's going to be good for the kill on MHL, but other than that, it's going to be a 4-1 scoreline, Henry. All
right, well, Anders, at least we've got a game on our hands here.
We do have a game.
Yeah, this is looking interesting now. I wasn't thinking this would be very close, to be honest. We'll try and go for the motions and work out the possibilities what Falcons could do, but this sort of start, yeah, well, we could actually have something quite interesting here, as it is going to be the AWP removed in the end, and yeah, that's a big round. There's no denying it. Falcons picked Mirage, just to note that. We have Nuke coming up next, and Ancient, which might be required. You never know, like, no one's expecting this sort of emphatic start. They've played a pretty decent game so far. The only blunder of sorts was that double smoke towards Connector on the pistol. But since then, being a pretty solid game, you have to say. Shush hits a nice shot here, but does not hold on to the AWP. Taken down towards the Palace by Boris, of course, who continues to show us that strong form. So, what's up next here? The money's going to be a question mark for Heroic. They actually will only have about $3,000 on average per player, Anders. Like, maybe a little bit more, but still not a territory to buy into this one. And we're going to see Shush with the MP9. Get some Kevlar as well. Are they going all in? No, I don't think... Oh, some of them are. Like, we've got 2,500 on Cadian still. So yeah, it's the full commitment. Pretty much, Cadian's the only one who doesn't spend all of his cash because he's the AWP going forward. But this is where you're really opening up that door opportunity here. For Falcons, they win this round, your money's sabotage once again. That's a massive opening frags. Down, spraying down MPK towards the top of middle, but they're not done just yet. Yabi wants to slice the action as well, but Boros makes very light work of him. A clinical headshot from the AK-47 nullifies their efforts, and we're back to a 4-on-4. And that favors the T-side, Anders.
It does.
Especially in this sort of round as well, where they've got pistols, MP9s, at that opening frag. They just needed to get the hell out of there, overcommitted.
And I think Falcons have made a call now saying that it's very likely that Heroic will try more aggression because, you know, as you said, 4-on-4, it's going to favor the T side. So the CTs are going to be incentivized to move forward, and they are. Shush right here with the MP9 actually ducks under. It's a team kill. MHL, I mean, it's a good shot, but it looked like Boris was in a bit of trouble. Still a 3 versus 3.
Hey,
and
if I have to kill my teammates to kill them, sometimes it has to be done. You know, as long as you get the trade and it's okay, it's all right. It's not a mistake, really. It's still a 3-on-3. They still have a massive advantage here.
Depending on the teammate, it might even feel great at times.
Yeah, true. But 2 players are low. MHL and Longs will be down to 23 points of health. We've got Cadian here. Bear in mind, they pretty much fully invested into this one, so it'd be disastrous to give this round up. They'd be 5-1 down. See what Body can make of it. They detect Cadian.
Stown has a flash in the middle as well to help out Cadian. If he can get the fight going a little while longer, they're making a fair bit of noise here. He's going to peek on out just as the bomb is being planted. Molotov on top, and that's going to slow down the bomb plant, but good smoke. MHL actually able to finally compete the bomb plant here. 2 versus 2 now. And Stown's moving a little bit closer. He's got some backup in Tesses with just a Deagle here. Obviously, no kit in play. That's not the kind of stuff they could afford in the round. MHL is actually having a fantastic game right now. He's at the 6-2 himself. A triple kill in this round, and Tess is going to be found. Quad kill at the end of it. Falcons up to 5.
Oh, Cadian. You hate to see that. He was in the prime position to shut that round down, win the round there and then. He didn't anticipate a second player. Instead of taking down the low HP planter, he drops the incendiary and gets dropped in the process. It looks like they've already won the championship at this point. The crowd are loving it. And it's going to be 5-1, and that was the team kill. Like I said, if you have to take down your teammate sometimes, it denies the double kill, at least on the CT side, as MHL will close things out 5-1, and it has to be another really interesting financial decision. Cadian brings out the AWP, surrounded by the pistols here. Now, he is the sort of player that can win these rounds. We've seen it time and time again. It's one of the tricks they have up their sleeve. But again, if he goes down and they lose this round, they won't have the AWP going forward. Shush will pull one back, and they actually get a double. 3 on 3. Can he recover a rifle?
Yeah, but they lost the AWP over at the ticket booth. That was taken away immediately by Body, so it's a really, really good kill. Shush has picked up the AK in the meantime. Boris out hunting, and he's going to find the kill onto Stound. Keeps on spraying. Tess is the next victim, and they know where Shush is. They don't even have to guess. They can just bring the bomb back to the B-bomb site, and all of the pressure will be on Tess's, which I don't think tracking the whole map here might just be better to try and get the AWP at the ticket booth and hope to bring that into the next round. At least it's kind of a, you know, a little bit of a wash. You can walk away with it, but the round, yeah, I don't think it's worth trying to win it.
Just to reiterate as well, the current matchup we're watching right now, if you're just joining us, you don't follow Counter-Strike too much, this is the world's #1 team on paper.
Yeah.
Against Falcons, who are ranked 104th. So if they were to even take a map, just of that alone, it would be remarkable. It would be a massive headline. And so far, so good. 6-1. And Shush at least has the AWP because they can buy into the next round. They've got maximum loss bonus, of course. If they can save the AWP, they're actually okay. It was a calculated risk in that sense, and it looks like it'll be one that will eventually pay off. But that's Boros with 3 more kills into this round, Anders. He's gone 11 and 3. So you said you've seen some inconsistency sometimes, like he either turns up or he doesn't. This time it looks like he's firing on all cylinders. He's got something to prove out there.
And I think it's absolutely necessary. The start that they had, winning the pistol and keeping it going and keeping Boris in this kind of a mind state, you have to have that. And they're doing it. 11-3 and a 6-1 scoreline.
Yeah, got the wind in their sails now. The crowd behind them, making them proud, Anders, I would say.
Yes, absolutely are. This is brilliant. Boris, some easier kills in this one, but, you know, it all counts in the end.
Against Heroic with pistols, like, super difficult rounds to win, regardless. So it will be a CT timeout. Looking uncomfortable here, but bear in mind, the first series of the day, Fnatic Cloud9, it was Fnatic that were down 7-1, brought it all the way back to a 16-14 showing. So yeah, it's a great start, but Heroic can still win the half, and if you ask me, they probably will. But in terms of where we're at right now, remember this moment, because this is unpredicted. Well, no one saw this coming. It was unpredictable, and we'll see whether they can actually continue with this momentum. And for now, their money's actually okay. There's been some close rounds here. They're averaging about $2,000 going to round number 8. Tactical pause for Heroic comes to an end, and they do have that saved AWP, bear in mind, for Cadian. Yabby 1 and 6. He's tried that aggression towards middle. Doesn't seem to be working out. They're going for a change of pace here on the T side. We've got 4 players heading towards the B apartments here. So like I said, I want to see set-piece gameplay. Hopefully that's what we're going to bring to the table, because that's how you're going to find the space to get that bomb down and enable players like Boros to clutch out.
A little bit of a nade that landed on MBK at the beginning. Tess is jumping back here, going to just throw at one of his own. He's going to tank them up a bit. It's not that much.
It does play 2 players and 1 dink potential, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Boros and Body, they can be tapped down with the M4, so it's actually a very powerful grenade.
Just jumping for information here. Tess is, yeah, he's going to get it. Long's looking to open something up, and they're actually very quick with it. They've left again. MBK at the top of mid. We saw this pattern from them earlier. We'll see if it's going to work out this time. If they can win this round, Heroic are actually in so much trouble. I don't disagree with what you said. There is still a chance that Heroic are going to bounce back quicker than you might think, but not if they lose this round. Then it's going to be a very, very different matter. And MBK no longer at top mid, sneaking into the middle instead. And Tessus, he's aware that they could be up there, but they're just frozen in the hallway. And he's got no more nades. He can't actually slow them down anymore. Going to have to be the rifle instead. And he'll do just that with the opening on Longs.
MBK should be dropped momentarily as well, but that's a hell of a shot. Tesses with so much pressure applied to him now. Scrambling at the back of the site. I think he goes down after 1. MBK should take him, and that's the bomb site wide open.
What a shot. MBK did get a little bit of damage on him. 3 versus 3, and the bomb's being planted on the other side. Heroic, they're not loving this right here. Cadian boosted up with the back of the shelves, looking to see if he could find something. It's down instead to take down Body, and there's the boost coming in to play.
Here we go.
I think MHL was ready for it. Now it's on MBK. One of the most veteran players in the scene, but now in a 1 versus 3 with the bomb down here. He's going to get the spray on the 1, goes back for a bit more. He actually did the damage. That could have really worked if he would have had the shot on Stound. Maybe he could have made it around, but instead it'll be a second on Heroic, finally getting something going their way.
A hat-trick for MBK. He actually gets all 3 kills in that round. I didn't think he stood a chance towards the ladder room, but he proved me wrong. And the money is absolutely fine after getting that bomb planted as well. Heroic find their second round. I was going to say before that execution came in, I think if Heroic win that round, I feel like they're going to run away with the rest of this half. But the fact it was so close, only 2 players survived, they made it competitive. I'm not so sure. Like, Falcons have got some tricks to their sleeve here, and they've got some very potent players as well. Great work there from Cadian. And it's down to guarantee the round here. They know they're in a bit of hot water right now, but second round has been found. It will be a tactical timeout this time for Falcons, their first of 4. And we'll see what they can bring to the table here. MHL will bring out the orb early, and it will, of course, be a full buy going forward. But who would have thought we'd be here, Anders? 6-2 as the Danes need to pull their socks up.
I do like the fact that they take the timeout here, Falcons, because I think back in the day, in the early days of Counter-Strike, people only took the timeouts when they felt they were practically losing, and then they started to burn them. I think doing it now, first of all, you deny Heroic any kind of momentum from having just one round. You have to cool it down. And also, if there are little small things to fix, you know, no one's getting too hyped up. The adrenaline isn't running away with Falcons. They can keep it cool. They're playing really well right now, so why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Cadian this time exploring options towards middle, but I think we have another B play coming in. It's the least Longs who's going to commit, suggesting his teammates will follow, but just seeing if he can get that opening frag, and no one's home.
There's no one on the site, but there we go. He actually finds the shot. I think he almost had it in the beginning for the smoke. It was ridiculously close. But even doing that, I mean, job well done so far. He gets the kill deep in the bomb site. Some pressure in the middle here. NBK. That's not a fight that he's supposed to be winning. Shush coming in from the other side, body. He knows there's someone right there in the connector. He's well aware. Shush pushing forward, and it's MHL from the other side, in fact. Great bodyguard coming in with a shot. It's just on Tess's 1 versus 3, and Boris trying to see if he can crouch into that fight. He had the right idea, but wasn't quick enough on the trigger.
SS with no utility, no kit, and the bomb to be planted. His body and MHL to defend here. They can set up the crossfire, an incredibly difficult clutch, but one that is possible.
I don't know if there's a kit anywhere. They're in the middle, a couple of them, but how do you get back there? You might spend almost as much time doing that as you will finding the kills. No one to be found, and MHL, another great round out of him, a double. He's up to 9-3. Him and Boris are running away with the show right now, 7-2. And a lot of this started with the fact that NBK got that kill in the middle. I thought he was going to be dead. Stown should have won that one.
Well, I'm liking these approaches from Falcons coming through. That was a little avant-garde, I suppose, a kind of pseudo-B execution, throwing the smokes over the flashes, sending one player in who just got the equal trade, which is absolutely fine. We talk about it so much. 4-4 favors the T side. They then pull the ripcord back in towards the A side, and it's continued to trade out. Heroic, they thought they were going to make light work of this one. They're being fully tested right now. And once again, the mid-aggression coming in from the CT side is Yabi and Tess is confirming middle is clear. And they're doing exactly what I wanted, Anders. We've got the set-piece gameplay coming in. This is what you need to do. Get that bomb planted, set up the clutch situations, allow your stars to shine. I'm really enjoying this from Falcons. And will it work out once again? It's actually one of the weaker parts in the map right now. You've got Cadian and Spawn, Stown and Connector, but that's about it towards A.
The game plan is coming through in a big way for them at the moment. What a shock, what a surprise to start the day with. Missed shot from Cadian, he might not get another chance. Henry, he's being hunted down. 8 health, he just has to evacuate. He knows the grenades are coming for him, so he's all the way out of there. Jabby instead's been taken up the position by the ticket booth instead, and through the middle, Stown and Tess is trying to get on through. It's going to be Tess to trade the kill at the very least, but it just keeps on coming. Boris relentlessly getting the kill, and now only awkward thing is the bomb dropped on the stairs, but there's still a man up. They still might be fine. Cadian so far away from the action because of that earlier damage.
So what's Body up to right now? He is booking it through T-Spawn. He's going to be heading towards top and middle right now. MBK has to try and salvage that bomb. He needs to be careful. Cadian will spot him momentarily, and another miss from Cadian. A couple of them in this round can't quite connect the dots here. He'll fall back in towards the B bomb side. They've lost track of the situation here. Big kill available for Shush, but one he can't convert. How is MBK rolling back the years here, Anders?
I don't know, but it's...
No one saw this coming.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But I'm here for it. Obviously, one of
We had the conversation earlier, which old boys are still going. We forgot MBK.
That's true, we did.
I'm sorry, Nathan.
How could we?
Disrespected his name.
It does kind of say something, though, because, again, the French scene were known for sort of the huge breakups, the struggle for power.
The drama,
just the constant drama, right? And it felt like NBK at one point just kind of got exiled and ended up way outside of the French scene, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and here we are.
So if you were to remove the names at the top of the screen, you would assume it's Heroic dishing out this sort of work right now, and it wouldn't be that much of an exciting game, but
this is great.
No, do not adjust your sets. The information on your screens right now is correct. Team Falcons, ranked 104th in the world, taking down Heroic 8-2 on their T-side campaign of Mirage. It's their map pick, admittedly. There's still a lot of work to be done. They haven't won yet, but this is unprecedented. I can't imagine a world where this was going to be going down. I was kind of setting myself up for, okay, another quick 2-0. We'll get the good games tomorrow. We'll start kind of rolling into it. But
this could be one of the most bitter losses for Heroic.
Yeah, because, well, let's talk about it, because it's always the playoffs they seem to struggle. The semifinals, famously, that's when they drop off in form. Essentially, every game is a semifinal right now, up until you get to the grand final. So with this sort of format and the way it's kicked things off, they have got their backs to the wall now. The pressure is mounting, and this is a big deal. This is $1 million tournament. This is where Heroic, according to the bookmakers, are the favorites going forward. So let's see whether they can recover. They would need one of these sort of rounds, a half bye to go in their favor, just to reignite the squad, and that's a hell of a shot to kick things off. Stown will find the AWP at the start of the round, but they'll need a lot more where that came from.
I don't disagree, yeah. That kind of round where suddenly it sparked a little bit of confidence. You know, Cadian is the kind of leader that's going to feed off that. He's going to inspire the team once again, but they need the kills at the moment to actually make it work. Boris pre-firing the smoke, and he wasn't wrong. There was someone on the other side. Molotov to try and displace Yabi on the other side by the catwalk. Here's a chance. Just surgical work coming out. It's the 5-7 at range, taking down Longson. 3 versus, well, 2 now as NBK gets a bullet to the face. Tess is making this one work. Boris and Body, 2 versus 5. Very hard to see them getting back into this round. Heroic, they should have the discipline to stay the course.
Should, being the operative word.
You never want to make too many assumptions, do you? It's down on the other side here. Deagle in play. Another headshot. Boris is out of it. And Body just alone and surrounded by Danes. That's the round they needed, Henry. You said that could be the spark. The
catalyst to get them on their feet here. I think they know it as well. Now they can stabilize. I feel like they know what they're up against. They need to stop playing so cagey. They're not really playing the heroic game right now. Would like to see them. They've explored the options towards top and middle, but that's about it. We haven't seen any really brave flanks or sabotaging the offense at all, but time will tell as we do see success delivered from these Desert Eagles. Down doing majority of the heavy lifting. Here's a beautiful shot from Katie with that 5-7 towards top and middle. And it got a difficult buy here. Some of these rounds have been very close, so after winning even as many as they did, they are in a very precarious spot, and that's more like it. This is the Heroic we know and love. Pushing off towards shore, pushing from connector. Very mobile, in your face, just moving around the map. Difficult to predict where they're going next, and Shush spots a couple there towards the A ramp, and they don't fancy it whatsoever. They're going to bail. Through T-spawn with the bomb, leaving Body in towards that palace position. And in terms of the utility, they still have 2 smokes and Molotovs. I think just a B execution might be on the agenda here.
Yeah, and I think one of the horrific things about playing Heroic is how quick they can recover the confidence. You've seen it time and time again. Just one good round, and suddenly everyone just looks so smooth once again.
So there's only one player towards B, that's Tesses. I think he's boosted up on the side right now. A very potent position. You're normally good for 1 kill. It's safe there as well, and could be sabotaging their efforts as they do commit in towards B. It's going to be that execution we spoke of, but they just don't really have the firepower behind it. A single AK-47, pistols and a scout otherwise, and Cadian, he picked up a ton of frags from this position before. This time smoked off and a missed shot. A chance for them to breach the bomb site.
Yeah, AK takes over. Flashbang is there for Cadian as well to slow them down. He does get a little bit of a tag on there, but this has slowed down so much. It's started to become a bit of a problem. Body, the only one to reply yet. The scout rings true, 25 seconds, and they're going to set up the smoke. Maybe they can go for the bomb plant, although Yabi is there to shoot them in the back. No bomb being allowed for, and I don't think there's any way out for Body. He was triangulated into that bomb site and was never going to survive it. So Heroic now on 4, and without the bomb plant here, it puts some pressure again on the Falcons' economy. That was a bit of a force-up in the last round. They're not going to have enough to really make a real effort of it this time.
Well, it's already been a very decent half for Falcons. Any further round at this point would be a bonus. If you told Falcons coming into this one they could get 8 rounds in their T-side of Mirage, they'd bit your hand off. They would have said, yeah, absolutely, we'll take that. So anything further would be welcomed, of course, but not required. As we go into a full eco now. Not really much to speak of, I'm afraid. Glocks across the board, a deagle for Body. Even if they get a kill, I would be impressed at this stage. It's Yabi and Shush in the perfect setup to deal with this. As Body tries to find a 1-bullet headshot if possible.
Yeah, anything to do some damage, you might as well. You have the cash for it.
Run boost. Pull.
Sending him into his death, unfortunately. Yabby's going to get traded. NBK and Launch doing a bit of work in the middle. It all adds up in the end, even if it's round number 13 here. You could do enough damage to put a little bit of pressure on Heroic, but it's going to be nowhere near a bomb plant or anything else. Body got sniped on the A ramp, and we will have a 14th round.
We really will, and it's round number 14. No AWP available on the C side here. AKs across the board. Maybe a tactical timeout required just to see if they can pick up at least one more. That would be great for them. But yeah, Heroic starting to look a little bit more comfortable here. 3 rounds in a row after suffering, was it an 8-2 deficit?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to fight for. I think if you're Falcons, you've got to think, get all the rounds, get 10-5 at this point, just because you just know Heroic are always going to be this. Even at 5 rounds, they're
even
still
10-5 wouldn't be safe against Heroic, right?
Definitely not. Oh, the spray. Still not ready as Boris was all the way up close, and he had no backup there. I think there was a flash being thrown from the catwalk, but Boris just not even in position to catch that one, so a little bit awkward. Now they're going to be boosting on the other side, try and see if they can find Boris in there. The timing is good, but they couldn't land the shot.
Well, that's information at least 2 players are towards B, so the T side should be utilizing that, but we'll see where they go towards next. They boost up one towards window, that's Body. NBK has been playing very well so far, continues that strong form, hell of a shot, looking for a second as well, and he delivers. Nathan is turning up to the stage today. That is really impressive. A 5-on-2. Shush and Cadian's got no business in this one, surely.
Yeah, Project's been building for a while with different lineups. Eventually, he gets the 3rd kill, but he's going to be betrayed. Another team kill for Falcons, but who cares? They're going to be up 9-5 here. Shush was on a massive flank the whole way through. For the last 20 seconds, he's been going through T-spawn, but when all of his teammates are dead on the other side, it will not make a difference at all here. Long's going to be found, and it's all good, but again, there is some backup here. MHL is looking down the catwalk. They're not going to allow any tricky ninja diffusers coming through. So 9-5 of Heroic.
I can't believe it. I'm gobsmacked, Anders.
I'm a little bit shocked myself. I'm actually a little bit shocked, but in the best possible way. I mean, this definitely looked like it could be one of the games where
it's just the perfect storm, isn't it? The first game, we have the crowd in the arena. Everyone's fired up. It's one of the first showings for this squad as well. The previous results are terrible. But now it's all coming together when it really matters most. A single elimination format game against the world #1 team, and you're turning up in buckets and spades here. Remarkable scenes. You can see the frustration starting to set in for Heroic. They're still fine. A lot of work has to be done for Falcons. This is great, but we'll see if they can pick up that 10th round as we enter a very fast A play here.
Nice shot. I was going to say they've unleashed Boris onto the bomb site, but they actually managed to shut it down. Shush with an important kill there. But the battle is not over. It's going to continue. Body burning alive. Deep Molotov from Stown, able to find him somehow. And the spray, it's immaculate. I can't believe it. That easily could have been a double. I can't believe NBK actually lived through that one. And it won't be for long either. MHL, again, he's been having a great first half, but it will not be enough. Yabby to take him down in a 9-6 at the end. So Heroic, they keep a little bit of territory. They could still make a half of it in the second one. We're going to find out if they can after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GAMERS8. You find us at halftime here in the first map between Heroic and Team Falcons. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It's the Falcons that are soaring high in the sky, and after going up 8-2. They went out the half 9-6, but you have to say Heroic did bounce back somewhat to make it a competitive half and make sure they're probably going to take it still.
They have a good crack at it here, but I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. This is not what I was expecting. Everyone thought it was going to be really easy, a walk in the park really for Heroic, but it turned out to be anything but. And in fact, it's not just Boris, like, but he's been leading the charge, but NBK's up there, actually tied for kills with Boris, and I think
but look at the ADR.
Well.
NBK's got 111. He's actually dishing out headshot after headshot. He's the one contributing the most right now, the old boy. Stepping up, we saw Crims with a great performance earlier as well. So, yeah, tip my hat to him as we go 9-6, but the job is not done. Not by a long shot here. As we get into a very important pistol, of course, is Heroic, who know they have to deliver. They cannot go out to Team Falcons. It's just not possible. It just should not be happening. So we'll see a couple of smokes there. Quite a technical approach. 2 smokes, Molotovs, flashes, P250s. And it looks to be a potential A split. As the smoke goes down towards window, its Body being baited in with the Julies.
Take a long time for it to outlive it if they lose this one. The Falcons, I definitely agree. little bit of a setup here with the pistols. They got him wedged in the corner, but they don't realize there's a second player. It's actually a trap Henry. The dualies come swinging, and launched with the double headshot. Brings down and Tesses both. And they were lured into it. They thought they had that player just trapped in the corner, but it was all just a little bit of a ruse. Now, 2 people dead on the Heroic side. Can they bring it back?
So they actually had 4 guns in the connector.
They did.
Quite an impressive setup, but one that works out for them. It's Cadian, who's going to try and breach the B-bomb side if possible. NHL very defensive position, and one that will cost him.
Nice headshot. Cadian wants to keep it going. He's not afraid. Battling out against NBK for a while, but none of them really connecting with the shots. The dualies, however, are still making work of it. Now it's a flank coming, and they know at the very least, Heroic, they're going to get the bomb plant as well, and Cadian, I think he had to try and go for a fight like that, and it just unfortunately doesn't work out. Wow. NBK, super crisp, cuts the head off of Yabi, and it will be another great round here. It's Falcons win the pistol in the second half.
I've never seen that before. 2 dualies in towards a connector, a bit of a bait and switch setup as well. As soon as one gets the aggro, tucks in, enables the other player to come online, and they really make it work there. Launch with a double kill. All strikers loving it. Big thumbs up. Totally agree. As we go 10-6. Bomb planted though, Anders, means you can buy in the second round here on the T side. So we are going to see a plethora of weaponry come through the MAC-10 to Galil's Deagles. This is the most important kill, taking down Cadian there. Left him in a 3 versus 1. Yeah, we could do nothing with it. And like I said, the buy and the B push is coming in. This might just be a straight up rush. It doesn't look like they're slowing down at all. Stound to lead the charge here. Tesses to provide the flashbangs, and in we go. NBK with the M4 looking to mow them down.
Yeah, he's ready for it. MAC-10s are coming straight his way. He's going to be good for the 1 kill, but instantly traded. It's down. He's taking a lot of damage back by that bench. Blocks. Not loving the fire at the moment. It's already hot enough here in Riyadh, so don't want to be adding to it at all. He does get dropped a little bit low, but he's still alive at the catwalk. And Heroic have been slowed down. Where's that bomb plant coming from? Good headshot from Yabi. Might just clear the space for it.
Still all the work to be done here, but it's a very powerful smoke towards the kitchen window. Just need to try and get that plant down. 4-on-3 currently in favor of Heroic. They're not looking too comfortable right now. Going to be planning for sure. Boros coming in from that position. He's got the silenced M4. He has to be the linchpin of the operation. They've overlooked that position. Yabi has offered himself up for free.
Just 2 people left, and one of them with the scout. Look at this angle for Stown. It's almost made for a headshot. He's not going to be able to get it. Body sets it up for a potential retake. He swings a little bit wider, takes down Tesses, and Cadian, he just goes straight for it. No fear at all. Going to be able to pick it up. That's leading from the front. A double kill for Cadian, and Heroic with the 7th round. They badly needed that. If they were going to lose that round, it might have been Falcons' opportunity to walk away with this game.
Oh, absolutely. It's what happened in the first half as well. They got the 3-0 start. It opened the floodgates, and they were up 8-2. They couldn't allow that to happen again. Fortunately, some great shots connecting here from the likes of Stown. Cadian winning out in his final clutch scenario as well. Big M4 spray required, and he delivers on all fronts. And we will see a force in response here. Team Falcons will have 3 Deagles, a 5-7, and a Scout. Heroic need to ensure they get this one over the line. Start building momentum of their own. It would shut down Falcons to a full eco, and presumably yield 2 rounds here. And that's about as good a start as you could hope for. A B split quickly up towards shore. Completely nailing NBK on route, and that should be round. It's one of those rounds now where you just got to call a save. You save your pistols.
Although, if you've been watching Counter-Strike for a long time, seeing NBK with a scout might bring a smile to your face.
That's a good point. I actually remember memories of me commentating in 2015 saying NBK is considered not the best sniper, but the best scout user in the world. But it was a very different meta. That's when you could jump scout, if you remember. That's when he was very good at it. You had full accuracy at the apex of your jump. So that was a very different scout, but he was the best at it, with Chris J, I would say.
Yeah, the 2 of them, between the 2 of them, you're right. They carved out a niche for themselves, but they just dominated that space.
That's kind of a wild thought, isn't it? That was like Call of Duty style gameplay we had in CS for quite a long time. Like, so you could jump as high as you could. As you shot at the very peak of the jump, you had full accuracy, but not to be the case anymore. And like I said, saving the 3 pistols here, you get a second bite of the cherry going forward. See what you can do with the Desert Eagles. As Heroic will keep 4 players alive. Starting to close the gap now. It was a very uncomfortable start. Said the first game for them might be the only game for Falcons. It's a single elimination format as the gap is starting to be closed very, very quickly now. They'll have to take the eco here, but they do have those safe pistols, but that's about it. You can't even justify a flashbang ready to go with it. Your money's so desperately low, averaging $2,000 per player. Now, you're going to get $2,400 on top of that going forward. And on the CT side, even that's still not enough.
Might be worth highlighting as well that the second map in the series is Nuke, and I think that's going to be a very, very tough map for Falcons to try and win.
Sure, like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, Mirage, it's one of those puggy maps, right? Everyone knows that the player, like, and everyone plays it a very similar way. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's a chance Falcons are going to do anything with this series. It has to be in this first map.
You want to assume that, yeah, if you know, maybe try it again in the third one, see if they can do something, but I think this one is a must-win on the Falcons side of things. Yabby getting a chance to have a bit of a say himself. The AK to pick up the kill to body. Again, obviously just, you know, some upgraded pistols in this round. Good shot for Boris. They know exactly where he is. The bomb is in the middle, and they could just turn this into more of a B execute and just make sure they get the bomb and the round instead of fighting Boris. Good flashbang. Nothing MBK could do. Yeah,
to say the very least. He was blind as a bat in there. As we will see Stown confirm the round. Just Boris now, but he's got the AK-47. Could probably cause a bit of damage here. Stown waits towards the murder hole. Boris, he isn't peeling off the save just yet. He kind of fancies his chances here, but should be taken down by Tessa. As you can hear the sound cue, and there we have it, 10-9, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, the loss bonus still not really established on the CT side. So yes, they have enough for a buy, but averaging what, $4,300 per player. Meaning you probably can't justify the AWP. You might better buy it, which they've actually gone for, the glass cannon on MHL straight away. So that means he'll be operating with just the sniper rifle itself. No grenades, no Kevlar. And we'll see if that actually works out for him. Lovely shot from Boris. Gets himself a couple of frags in the end. But the round was pretty comfortable overall. One round separates these two teams now as we get into number 20.
I respect this for MHL. I feel like they need a strong presence, and they can't let Heroic just roll it back. So even buying the AWP no armor, I think is a cool choice here. Let's see if it actually does work out for him. Yabby already close up. I don't think they realized, but they're still going to be able to win the fight. They had a double setup on the other side, so they're going to be good for that one. A little bit of damage onto, a lot of damage onto NBK. I'd take it back. He ate that grenade and is down to 2 health. That might be a little bit of a problem. Shush very patiently waiting, and I was going to say, he normally doesn't lose those kind of fights, but Body just crouching on and able to get the shot against him. Now it's a 5 versus 3, sorry. MBK still alive.
He is. Alive and well. Holding that smoke in towards B, just trying to buy time for his teammates in MHL. Remember, glass cannon. If he gets touched by a bullet, the aim punch will be a disaster for him, but this looks perfect if he can get away with it as well. Great work, 5 versus 1 now, and it's a very clean round there for Falcon to go 11-9. The AWP does work out for them, launch of 2 kills, same story for Body as well. Lovely active push there as well, even with the advantages, shutting down any potential choke points, gathering information, finding kills en route as well. That pre-fire from Body, that was world class, exactly what they needed there. Didn't give up anything whatsoever. And this is the shot from MHL. He hits this and can get away with it, they win the round. Delivers on all fronts. And now Heroic on the back foot once again. Pistol for Stown, Galil for Yabby, but okay otherwise. You'll see Shush extinguish the initial flames and go for that first duel. MHL will beat him to the punch, looking for the double, and it's getting chaotic here now. They fully committed in towards A.
Yeah, Heroic changing the pace, and it isn't working out for them at all. Boris able to keep up a couple of kills there. Tessa's with a wild spray, but he's just locked in here. There's no one saving him. Cadian is in the middle. He can't do anything here, and Tessa's just a matter of time. Doesn't really matter who gets him at that point. It was going to be the grenade at the end for NBK. And Cadian, he's given up on the round. He can try and save this AWP for the next minute and 20 seconds, but that is about it. I like the idea of changing the pace, and maybe you can catch Falcons off guard, but not this time.
But essentially, you're just presenting a lot of aim duels with that sort of approach, right? Yeah. It's not really a set piece, it's more of a pounce attack. So you're extinguishing the smoke, you've got a couple of flashes going over, but players like Boros, they want those kind of plays. They want to be presented with multiple players on their screen just to try and mow you down. And yeah, that's a bit of a non-starter for Heroic, barely doing any damage en route, no plan, that's for sure. And Cadian with no choice but to save the AWP as the bomb is in the worst possible position here. They'll just surround it. They don't have to hunt. They'll wait and run the clock down, try and find him eventually. But yeah, nothing going at all in favor of Heroic in the last couple of rounds here. It will be 12-9.
Probably the hope for Heroic is that if the A attack did work out, people were going to rotate through middle. Cadian can snipe them away as they're jumping out of the window or through the catwalk. So there's some method to the madness as well if they ever get it off the ground. But obviously when they just get shut down, then none of that's really happening. Still 15 seconds here. And Body's out for a little bit of a hunt. He kind of wants to see if he can find Cadian in the fading seconds of the round. He's not that far away. MBK on the other side, leg shot onto him, but now the pressure is on, and he has got no idea. He's not ready for it. 3 seconds more, Henry, and he would have had it, but it's all for nothing. AWP is lost.
So that's 2 rounds in a row where Falcons have kept every single player alive. I cannot stress enough how important that is going forward now, because it builds up the resources. It means they can afford to lose around this point. They've got a decent lead at 12-9, and it's actually an eco for Heroic coming up next standards as well. This is 13 locked in, so presumably another round where all 5 players will survive. They're going to have so much cash going forward. So look, entering against a full eco, they've got 5K on each player here. You're going to get another $3,000 on top of this for winning this round. So here we go. What can Heroic make of it? Presumably nothing. Setting a body for the big spray down. Making light work of it. Looking for the ace. MHL will deny, but a very clean round. That's 3 in a row now. All 5 players have survived, as predicted. So they're averaging $8,000 per player now.
They've got so much money to work with at the start of the round. It's ridiculous, isn't it? 13-9. It's a 4-round lead. Bit of a timeout from Heroic as they get a chance to get Exist maybe mixed into this, but the truth is they've got their backs to the wall at the moment. There's not a lot of spaces right now for Heroic to escape into.
There's no money for an AWP either. Usually the backbone of the team, Cadian's AWP, clutching out, finding those opening picks. They can't rely on that this round. They have to go to their B game. And this was Body chomping at the bit to get involved, looking for that ace, and MHL will take down the last 2 players, but like I said, another clean sweep, and they are in a lot of trouble on the Danish side here. AKs across the board. Falcons in touching distance now of picking up the first map. It is their pick, admittedly, but still, no one had them even turning up to this series. No one thought they would even make a dent on the Heroic armor. But this is looking very uncomfortable. Oh, what's going on here? Is that pause? What's going on?
I think, yeah, I think they called a restart. No one's taking any damage, so there's no problem in that front.
Katie looked riled up though. What happened? I'm gonna go have a look.
Oh, we'll see. They are readying up once again. I want Cadian riled up, but obviously not because of anything to do with the game, but more to do with the general state of the team. He himself has got 13 kills, so not necessarily too bad in the overall scheme of things, but obviously they need more right now, Heroic. Something isn't quite working out for them. In terms of the kills, everyone is kind of here except for Yabby, who's at 7 kills, but everyone else is at 13 or 14, so the team seems to be doing okay, and I guess a 4-round gap is not necessarily that bad, so there is still a chance for her to bring it back. I wouldn't be necessarily panicked yet. Maybe after this next round, that panic is going to start to set in, though. AKs once again, and a slow march towards the finish line here for Falcons. Quick boost into the ladder room. It looks like they're going to try and see if they can press some of the underpass here once again. Body moving forward. Mid control is in favor of Falcons. But curiously, the bomb is outside of the A-bomb site. So looks like some of this underpass play is going to be to meet up with the rest of the team over on this side. Important kill for Tessus.
Very important kill. Should be a second available here as well for Stown. This is more like it for Heroic. Making light work of his CT defense as Boris will be dropped as well. MBK, the last man remaining. He's had a boatload of kills so far, but surely nothing can be done here as he goes down to 55 points of health. We know where he is. The bomb will be planted. It will be double digits. And Heroic, that is much more like it. That's the sort of rounds we were expecting time and time again in this particular matchup, but they've just been absent in the second half especially, but they will close the gap, find double digits. But as we mentioned before, Falcons have got just an absolute astonishing amount of cash going forward. It's going to be difficult to break them, but it all starts here. They can find a couple more rounds like this. It should be fine, but Cadian getting the job done with the AK-47. Lovely shot from Tess instead of close things out. Round 24, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Cadian back on the sniper, looking at the cross towards connector. Boristow getting up close and personal as M4 could be flashed in, looking to swing.
He was screaming at his monitor Tessus when he got that last kill. He was so hyped up. I think they're really trying to get that fire going on the Heroic side, which it's something they're so well known for. So I don't really blame them.
I guess he probably just didn't come in with that killer instinct mindset for this particular matchup. And you had this wake-up call, and now you've got to find it. You've got to dig deep and get everyone on board. And yeah, it might look a little bit scary right now, but they can recover this one. Shush, a chance now to find a couple of kills. He predicts the second, but Boris will beat him. Still at 4-on-4. Bomb down in T-spawn. Stown trying to gain access towards connector. And be joined by Tessus as well. Bomb still down in spawn, but Cadian will go recover.
Yeah, it's going to be able to make that long run back. Pick up another smoke along the way. Nice opening. NBK getting bested a couple of times in the last hit for a few rounds here. Boros, yeah, he'll be able to spray that down, no problem. Second kill of the round for him, and testing his luck a bit, hoping to find someone inside of the smoke. I appreciate it. 3 versus 3 in about 40 seconds left, and Yabi, like I said, he's a little bit low on the scoreboard, hasn't really contributed too much just yet, but this time, that AK rings true, and the bomb is going to be planted behind it. Boros and Lonks, they have a decision to make. They have a kit, they have a couple of grenades. If you want to find a really quick shot, maybe it's worth it, but it feels like they already are saying it's not this round. I
don't think it's worth it. You're Boros, who's pretty far removed from it. He'd have to find another 3 kills. So what's his total up to right now? It must be close to 25, 22 kills. And he's playing remarkably well. It seems like he's another one of those players that seems to be one step ahead. Every corner he checks, he seems to find the headshot. Very impressive. This is certainly one of those games where he's turning heads and removing them in Heroic's case. As we'll see, 3 players survive for the Danes. Some compelling rounds here, a couple in a row. This has been like I said, a wake-up call. I think they assumed this would just be a walk in the park for them, but anything but here in Riyadh.
You know, they're having to really struggle finding their way back into this game. 11-13. Again, it was just a 4-round gap, and now we're down to 2. So it goes quicker than you think, and it could keep going that way. Heroic have been here many, many times.
Oh,
I mean, one of the benefits of, you know, they're one of the few teams that didn't make the roster change after the last major.
Yeah.
So just having that consistency and just the reliability in the team is huge. What a grenade and what a shot from the Mitchell, taking down Yabi at the start of the round.
Here we go then, an opening advantage here for the Falcons. Body needs to be careful, there's a sound cue, and Cadian will remove him from the equation. Back to an even kill. Snipe on the CT side, position in towards spawn, and Stown trying to slip the net here, maybe try and make his way towards jungle, and he's done just that. That's a guaranteed frag. Makes an absolute meal of it though, Anders.
Oh dear.
I think he gets a follow-up kill, yeah, so it's okay, recovered, but still, that was not comfortable.
Not at all, that made me very worried. MHL's still there. They should have known, so I don't think Stown needed to do that. A little bit questionable. Lonks not able to get the spray down there, but there was an opportunity, and if he had that shot, who knows?
Absolutely.
2 versus 2.
That was the point I was about to make. If he gets that kill, I actually think they win the round, but not meant to be. MHL with 2 impressive frags, but the only 2 kills they're likely to get at this point. 13-12, and that massive amount of gold we spoke about before that Falcons had acquired, it's starting to diminish now, Anders. So it did last them, what, 3 rounds in a row? They gave up 3 rounds with full buys, and now finally it looks like they'll be finding themselves in a precarious spot. In terms of lost bonus, to get 2,400, so they save this orb. Maybe there's a buy to speak of, but let's see if he can hold on to it first. MHL just trying to stay alive here, fend them off. He knows they're coming, should be able to get this kill, yeah. Certainly well within his wheelhouse, and that's not going to slow down the efforts here from Shush, who's coming in from Palace.
Well worth it. Hunting him down. 3rd kill of the round for Shush. And that gap, that 4-round gap that they had built up at 13-9. Now we're at 13-12. Heroic just walking their way back into this game. It's got to be awful for Falcons to feel it's suffocating. And you know you're playing the #1 team in the world, and you can feel it all of a sudden. Like at the beginning,
slipping away.
Yeah, you were rolling through, and you're on such a high. Like we're winning it, coming out of the first half, it looks amazing, and now instead it's like, ooh, did we miss our opportunity to close this one?
And as we said coming into this one, if they got double digits, we'd consider it a victory. So let's just remind ourselves of that context.
That's true. Yeah.
The fact they've even turned up and shown the world they can play at a high level. They can challenge these top teams. No one thought they were going to do anything this series. Let's just be honest here. Let's be real. Sure, it's quite romantic that the organization and Boros representing this region, but still, like, no one's expecting them to take down Heroic. The fact they've made them this uncomfortable, it's been super exciting, and they've showcased some of the talent they have within the roster as well. MBK still got it. Body's fragging hard as well. And Boros continues to be an absolute star of the game. We'll see whether they can do anything with the pistols here. Great grenade. The aforementioned Boros will have to retreat. So this is, I wouldn't even call it a partial buy. This is more of an eco. Like, they had to take themselves down to $2,000. A few upgraded pistols with no utility. Only a couple of bits of Kevlar. And Tessa should be able to get this first frag. Should and would, as we'll see Lonks go down. And that's going to be an open B bomb site. Flying the orb in the form of MBK, but nothing he can do. Just had the pistol. And that's going to be the game tied up, Anders.
Yes. Unfortunately for MBK, he got completely flashed on that corner before he could even really take the fight. Boris going to be walking right into the shot. Yabi started to get warmed up, which is terrible news for Falcons. A little bit easier to play when he was on the back burner, so to speak. Now it's just a body, and they're going to find him. A flawless round, but this time it's on the Heroic side of things as they tie up the game, make it 13-13, and starting to show their real strength here in Riyadh. And you've got to say, this is just all around terrible news for Falcons. It's not what you wanted to see. They had their chance when Heroic were weak and when they were wounded and when they looked like they weren't able to pick up the pace. I feel like that window is closing so quickly.
Oh, I think it's already shut, if you ask me, but we'll see. This is the round that really probably decides it all. Cadian, takes a load of damage there. Grenade and the Molotov takes him down to just 28 points of health now. MHL, decent game so far, has vision from the window position. Juggling some utility here. This is what Heroic are known for, like buying those residual flashbangs, dropping them in spawn. You can go for an initial gambit, then go collect all the flashbangs that are waiting for you. It's very meta, something they were trailblazers with, to be honest with you. And now everyone equipped once again. Body. Twitchy gameplay there. He knows it's a common battle between himself and Shush. But not much ground taken so far from Heroic. Just trying to bait out those grenades. And there's not many left on the CT side here. One more dispatched towards the top of middle. Doesn't quite connect.
Just under a minute.
No kits as well, just to note that.
Yeah, that's probably really important to mention right now. If Heroic get the bomb plant, then the pressure will be on. Look at the grenades on Heroic. For there being 45 seconds left, they have enough for a massive execute onto any one of these sites if they really want to.
And it's going to be at least the smoke's going. I think they're sending in one player, like they usually do, to try and see what kind of carnage he can cause.
Yeah, the pre-fire there. A lot of carnage, as it turns out. Yeah, being able to get the kill, but won't be able to pick up launch still. They're going to be trying to see if they can spearhead their way through the connector now. They know that there's a player on the bomb side. Tessus will open it up, but are they ready? Not for MHL. He's going to take the kill, and Cadian's gone down in the meantime. There's nothing that Down can do. The bomb is too far away. Even getting the kill, there's only 12 seconds here. He can't make the bomb side.
He can't, but he can make it expensive at least. Trying to jump up and find another frag if possible. You can see he's ready for it. Oh, that would have been a beautiful shot. Doesn't quite connect. Big round. And they'll maintain the lead here. 14-13 for Team Falcons, but an expensive one all the same. Only 2 players survive, and there's tons of cash available for Heroic. 1 round away from map point on their pick. They'll take the timeout. This huge lead they garnered in the first half has come down to just 1. They were up 8-2 on their T-side campaign of Mirage, Anders. I don't think anyone saw that coming, especially Heroic.
No, they weren't ready for this kind of a battle. The slow start just coming back to haunt them in a big way right now. Even if they made their comeback of their own, you don't really ever want to be in this position.
The thing is as well, bear in mind, Falcons knew this to the team they were playing for a couple of weeks now, right? So they're giving this their everything. They've been researching this, how they can exploit the offense and defense of Heroic. This is their Super Bowl, right? This is their one chance to prove they can keep up. Heroic, I don't think would have had the same mentality. They're thinking, right, we've got Falcons first, we'll kind of proceed into the tournament. So yeah, this is absolutely everything for Falcons. This might be the only map they pick up in the series, but taking a map against Heroic would be astonishing. I don't think anyone would have predicted that, but they've got to get there first. That's the problem. Big round here. They can win this one or get match point, or map point I should say, and break the finances. So all to play for here. MBK, smoke in hand. 3 players in the B apartments. Good smoke as well. Buys himself some time here. Yabi cannot do anything with that.
On the other side of the coin, if they lose this one, Falcons, their own economy will look somewhat miserable, and you have to assume that Heroic will take a big step.
So what you're saying is, this round decides the map.
I think that's not a false statement at this current point in time.
I think you might be onto something. Well, let's see how it goes. Heroic, no fast-paced gameplay just yet. They are sending out 4 players, though, towards the B apartments and the bomb. It's Yabi, who's been sent in solo a couple of times. They've conditioned the thing as just 1 player, but now the whole cavalry's with him.
Yeah, the FAMAS out here. He has to get a bit closer, and he walks right into it. It's just NBK holding the line. The bomb is coming in behind here. 50 seconds and a good Molotov to put some real pressure, but actually, hold that. They've run the bomb back. I I can't believe it. What a risk to take. I know that Shush is clearing this part out, but he hasn't cleared it fully yet. This is not a done deal for Heroic. Stound's going to be going down. Tessus with a big opening, and Boris at the back of the site. And again, he's a monster. He's already got the first kill, the spray, and he could have had that one, but Tessus lands the headshot with the AK, and now it's somehow a 2 versus 2 Heroic. Big risk to run back in my opinion, but it seems to have worked out. They missed the hop there as well, and the bomb's being planted.
Some of the risks being taken right now are making me cringe inside, but I still absolutely love the gameplay we're witnessing at this point. 2-on-2. MBK and MHL need to decide if they're going for this one. They're so far removed from the situation. There's so many angles to cover, but they pulled it off. They are fed map point. They don't even have to get close to the bomb. Heroic offered themselves up, and they have found map point. 15-13. The bomb is planted, but the money is going to be low.
Unbelievable scenes. I thought Boris was going to make the difference at the back of the site, but it was the retake that did it. Heroic pushing forward, looking to take the fights, not trying to hide and play for time, and it might have come back to bite them in this one. 15-13, ladies and gentlemen. What a shock and what a surprise. Even as we said, this is Falcons' map pick, and Nuke is the second one picked by Heroic. Even in light of that, this is devastating to the Danish side. There's no doubt about it. Tess is on 22 kills, but they need to win the next 2, Henry. They have to force this into overtime.
Yeah, that's the only option at this stage now. Team Falcons will reposition. MHL over towards the B bomb side this time. That's a vulnerability for them, so an adjustment to their defense. But it's the A side is where Heroic will finish up here. Fast pace in towards that connector. Bombs towards A-Ramp. It's body to strike first. Doesn't quite connect, but he gets the information at least.
Yeah, ran out of bullets, unfortunately. Boris is going to be going down next, and those were the only 2 defenders at the bomb side to begin with. Now the rotation's coming through the middle. They kind of realize where Tessus is. Good fight to be won. And the retake, Henry, it might be right back on. 3 versus 3. Shush up close here, but MHL's on the other side, and he's not really missed many shots. I think he's low-key had one of the better performances of the server so far. Ready to try and see if he can fight Shush. Cadian gets a kill, and a missed shot finally. Just as I say it, I might have cursed him. It's locked on his own. 1 versus 3, and Heroic a step closer to overtime.
And I think they might have done enough there. 1 round to go. Money pretty broken, of course. We'll have to force buy-ins round number 30 here. But it's looking good for Heroic to take us to overtime. Reset everything at that stage to remain on the T side, but you never know. There's still an M4 in the hands of Body right now. Boris will have the FAMAS. Might want to give the M4 to the big man himself, but Body's having a hell of a game, so not too mad about it. We'll see what they can make of it. It'll have to be a chaotic round once again. We've had plenty of those so far, and it's mid-aggression coming in with the CT. It's down to deal with it. He gets the double spray down. Shush with the triple. Looks like we're going to overtime, but Boris is turning up here in emphatic fashion. 2 versus 1, MHL. 15 HP. He wouldn't, would he? Surely. He's done for.
Almost like the deal would have been a better choice than the FAMAS here. You can't really stand a long-range spray of this. You just need the headshots. They brought the entire army of Falcons into the middle, and it's almost given them the round, but low on health here, sneaking through the middle, and Shush is bringing the bomb to the A-bomb site. Yabby's maybe giving a little bit away here, making some noise, and surely MHL's going to be able to hear that, so he knows where one of the players is, and when the bomb goes down, he's going to probably know where the second player is. Is that going to be enough to really help him? Long rotation back through T-spawn. No kit to play with either, and if there was one, it was going to be in the middle, but I doubt they're going to have the funds to pick that one up, so this is, I have no idea how you could possibly do this. It feels like Heroic have done enough. If it was a 1 versus 1 with a bomb plant, it's different, but just to find both the kills and go for a 10-second defuse, I just can't see it happening. Yeah,
just going through the formalities here. Has to give it a go.
You have
to. But you're dead on. There's not really much he can do with this. Doesn't really even smoke off the bomb there, and it will be overtime. Everything is reset. The advantages that Falcons found have been squandered. The 15-13 lead will not be converted, as Heroic will stay on the T side here. And we're going to have $12,500 per player, meaning that you can bring out double orbs, but on the CT side especially, you need to be very careful. To be fair, we haven't really seen that from Falcons. They've played a pretty traditional game here. They've occasionally moved MHL around and left MBK to his own devices in towards B. And speaking of which, that's where we're heading once again. All 5 players on this side of the map trying to take down the likes of MBK, but this time, I believe, it's him alone. He has no backup. And a MAC-10 to open things up.
big problem, isn't it? They absolutely blew it wide open. Tesses, that's plenty enough. The bomb is going to be planted on the other side. Longs, he wants to push through. He wants to be the hero. He's got no backup. There's no one throwing any grenades for him. He's just pushed in front of the smoke. If anyone was holding it, he would have been dead already. This is so risky. A sinking feeling for Falcons right now, as they realize they might have had the chance and they might have given it up again. Heroic surely going to be fired up here. A good kill for Longs. He's going to try and smoke off the bomb and put some pressure on, but there's so much work to be done. A second kill. Can't get the third. It's down in the corner. Quickly taken down. 2 versus 2. And that bomb is so far ticked already. It was a fairly quick bomb plant. Cadian, he's already hiding inside, preemptively stabbing him. He's going to get him right in front of the home crowd, Henry. And Boris is no more. He saw that coming. What a cheeky play for Cadian.
Wow. That's just pure deathmatch on the B-bomb side there. It wasn't clear which way it was going, back and forth, every single kill, but it will be Heroic coming out on top. The smoke on top of the bomb, a chance to fully defuse there, but Cadian, he's seen that trick before, ready with the knife there. A no-scope could have come through, I suppose, but still, it will be 1-0 as Heroic take the lead here on Mirage for the first time in a very long time indeed. 1-0, and now Falcons on the back foot. So they're going for an aggressive A-main push. Boris leading that charge. 27 kills to his name, a fantastic performance. It's MHL. Position this time once again towards B, and they keep choosing that area as their point of attack, but a lot of information garnered here. Problem is, if they commit towards the other side of the map, he's so far removed, and they need to get their skates on here as Heroic is starting to dissect the mid-area and head up towards short. His MBK has got a lot of work to do and finds nothing.
And now the flank might be coming way too late. This is such an unfortunate timing here. They're going to be walking through the B hallways, but in the meantime, yeah, Heroic, they've gone back through the underpass, so they're going to find an empty bomb site. This is one of the few times where normally when you go for this kind of flank and you're in T-spawn, you should get something.
Buddy, you're looking at him.
He can't see him. His eyes aren't registering.
Wake up.
He is a T-Rex.
Wake up, bro.
He's just not realizing his brain isn't adjusting to it at all, Henry. This is a disaster. Body, he gets the shot. In the meantime, they did get the kill anyway. Maybe it's all worked out for good. Tessis and Yabi now 2 versus 3. And what a headshot here. Tess is still fighting it, but no bomb plant, and now Yabi is miles away. What did we just witness?
Like, I'm trying to work out, is there a world that was some sort of insane trigger discipline, but I don't think his cross even flinched over there. He didn't see him whatsoever. He was laser focused on that connector. Fortunately, they win the round. If that's how it went down, in the demo review, he'd be kicking himself. God. But still, they win the round, as we always say, and there's no harm, no foul. As we get into the final round of the first half of overtime here. Body still found a kill. It's absolutely fine. And they'll close out the round. So who will be taking the lead here to close out the first half of overtime? The first map, single elimination tournament, everything to play for. Aggressive from Longs, who's starting to show some form here. Confirms that no one's in towards the top of middle. And we're going back to an A execution, a set piece to close things out here. Everything you might expect. Smokes towards spawn, jungle, and the steps. Molotovs towards the shadow position. Firebox. All in, get that bomb planted, clutch out.
Scary proposition, though, because there's already 3 people at the bomb site, and because of the deep position that Longs had at top mid, they don't have any reason to get rid of any of these 3 players, and one of them is Boris with an AK. So do you really want to test this A bomb site defense? MHL good with the early shot to take down Tess's. Boris not quite getting burned, and actually the Orb is just doing all the work at the moment. Trishan's down, finally getting back into it, doing a bit of damage in return. Body sneaky at the edge of the smoke. You like to see it. Stown and Katie left here for the flash setup. Stown with the double. He wants to keep it going. It's now a 1 versus 1. It's Captain versus Captain. NBK versus Cadian.
Well, what can be done here? Pressure is on. Who will be leading after half-time here? Plenty of time to work with. Cadian, AWP, MBK with the M4, a nade and a flashbang to assist him. Pretty far removed, but Cadian will be looking down the barrel of this connector momentarily. MBK needs to be very careful. Not exposing himself for now. And where is he going? Tucks himself in on the A bomb site. He couldn't be further away from the action here. But Cadian, he knows MBK is the B player. So you don't have the information as to where he is. Is he on this side of the map? Time will tell.
It's going to be heartbreaking for NBK when he hears the bomb going down. It's a sick position for NBK to be in if Cadian was playing a double fake and actually coming back to the A bomb side, but he followed through. He just went straight for B. And now Cadian has every advantage. How do you get here? How do you check everything? Cadian already setting up for it, and MBK has to walk, he has to crouch through this one. He sees him, and now maybe there is a way. He's got a couple of nades. There's one of them. Up close, he tries to make the jump through, but Cadian is good for it. And they win 2 out of 3 rounds in their opening half of overtime here. And that puts Falcons in a deep amount of trouble. They're really, really starting to lose this map.
Wow, what a round that was, though. It had absolutely everything. Once again, right down to the wire. Another 1 versus 1, the mind games. This was a beautiful play, though. Stan with that flashbang from Cadian as well. That saves it. That round was done. It looked like they were out of it, but Stan with the play from hell. And it finds them a 2 versus 1 lead. It's going to be MHL, though. The opening kill has been very good for those, hasn't he? Time and time again, opening the round for the Falcons. This time it's Cadian that's dropped.
I think he's been the surprise of the series so far for me, because I really had my eyes on Boros and maybe to some extent on Body as well. I think he was one of those players in the French scene that maybe got overlooked a little bit. You know,
sure.
He was on his way to the top, but I still think he had a really solid ground game. But MHL has come out of nowhere for me in this series, so I'm excited for that. 17 to 16. Heroic need to get to 19, and so do Falcons, but they're a little bit further away.
Well, for now, though, they have the man advantage, taking down Captain Cadian. AWP in the hands of Stown. See what he can make of it. Boris lead the charge here, and hits down top and middle. Nails that shot, and now it's going to funnel them into the commitment towards the A-bomb side. It will be Shush defending valiantly here. Looks like they might have done enough. Hunting for map points here. MHL pulls one back, 2 on 2. 45 seconds remaining as the Molotovs deployed towards the bomb site. Speaking of that, it's going to be the C4, the A-ramp for now. And they can fall back. They don't have to fully commit to this one. So they'll go for the reset, but there's not a massive amount of time, 30 seconds. And we've got Yabi, who can get himself in a prime position. Lovely movement as well, doesn't waste any time.
He's seen it coming. This is a 500 IQ move.
Yeah, it really is.
There's no way you're going to be checking this corner, surely, if you're coming through on the other side. It's a great shot, but wait a minute. Wait a minute, that kill did it. Now the game is up, but he still has to be very, very careful. There's the shot, I can't believe it. It's a quad kill at the end on MHL as they win the round. What a wild way to get that one.
Like you said, it was the perfect read from Yabi. The only way it falls apart with, what, 12 seconds remaining is if somehow MHL drops down from Palace, gets the kill on this player here, which he has no business doing whatsoever. Tesses gets removed, and then he has to move. You're just assuming it's going to be the A-side attack. If he stays in B, he wins the round, but of course he has no idea, and we're all tied up once again. 17-17. Who will post map point first? We'll find out right here. Cadian, perfect position to do so. Body didn't realize there'd be a gap in the smoke. Very well done.
They're going to be looking back at that demo and just absolutely hating themselves, because that was a round you were going to win. If Yabi stays there, it's a done deal, but they had no way of knowing. Boris walks into the shot, launched. No business winning that one, but he did. And it brings it into a 2 versus 4. It's a very, very hard round to win here. And if Heroic end up picking it up, they're going to be a match, or not a match, but a map point with a chance, one chance to win it in the overtime here. Boris slowed down at 29 kills, knocking at the door of 30. But MHL's catching up to him. He's got 28. That quad kill in the last round really making a big difference here.
What a game it's been, Anders.
Nothing like what I was expecting.
I don't think anyone in the Counter-Strike community would have predicted these sort of fireworks here on Mirage. 4 on 2 now. MHL's been a hell of a performance so far, but it would take something ungodly at this point to pull this one off. Tesses with the perfect flank, as you might expect. Confirms the round here. MHL might want to pull one back, hits the leg shot, but there it is. Ooh, maybe not quite yet. The map point should be confirmed here. 30 seconds, bomb down in a very precarious spot. MHL down to 46 points of health, and you can see they don't want to give him any more opportunities, any more shots, just fall back and rot out the clock.
Yeah, I think it's very smart. It's the kind of discipline you'd like to see. Even if they do find him, it's so low chance that he wins it. But obviously, if they run away like this, he's just going to run out of time. Eventually, Cadian from across the map will take him down. 3rd kill of the round for Cadian. He's starting to get warmed up. He's starting to feel a little bit more excited about the whole situation. 18 to 17. Last round of overtime. If Falcons can get it, he'll go to double overtime, and the battle will continue.
It's possible. They've had some very impressive rounds here. From an individual standpoint and as a unit as well. It's been great. A very entertaining map so far, and there's plenty more action to come. We have a second map coming up as well, of course. That will be Nuke to pick up Heroic. And what's the approach here? Falcons, last chance saloon. Looking for the reset themselves this time after being up 8-2 on their T-side campaign. We know they can play this side of the map, but it's Cadian with a prime position here, top or middle. MHL patiently waiting for him. Bit of a standoff here.
He can keep this up. He's got backup in Stown, who's looking down at the underpass. So there's no pressure being put there by Falcons. So for the minute here, Cadian could just stick around. Although this is a very flashable position, so that's the one thing you got to be worried about here. If they throw a flash over the scope, there's one. Cadian can't see it. He misses the chance,
down.
And MHL will take him down.
Good dink. Stown might be able to do some considerable damage here. Nice grenade to follow it up as well. So down but not out. Heroic up against it now in the 5-on-4. Would love to close it out now. What's the final commitment going to be? 3 players towards shore. You'd assume a B-side attack here. Smokes down towards connector, and it's Tesses lying in wait with the AK-47. AK-47 ready to strike. And MHL hasn't really missed a shot so far. Stown's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he is. Look at the grenades. He threw 5 Molotovs at him. It's crazy. He couldn't get out. Longs is going to be going down, but it is really just Tessis at the back of the side here, and he's going to be found. MHL with 31 kills. He's doing all the work. Shush trying to see if he can win the round back at Yabby in the middle. The bomb is going to be planted to the end. I think there's anything Yabby could do about it. It looks and it feels like double overtime, Henry. Yabby just completely sandwiched into this position. Goes for it, spins around. It's
Great
the
effort.
right read, but he could not get the job done, and Falcons will live to fight on.
Yes, they will. It's all reset once again. Falcons will remain on the T side. Heroic, they thought they'd done the job there. It felt like it was enough, but the opening pick goes against Cadian. The double Molotov in towards the window. Beautiful shots from MBK and a great effort from Yabby. Wasn't quite enough there. Had to spin on a dime to even attempt the shot towards window, but we'll see if Cadian could open things up this time. Trying to find that first pick if possible. MHL is on the other side. No smoke towards window just yet, but MBK commits. A lot of utility around him and a desperate spray as he falls down from the window. Opening kill this time for Tesses, and he recovers the AK-47 as well.
Desperate, the key word, I think, in that one.
Yeah, he
Don't
knew
know what he
was,
could have done.
He was done for, hoping a stray bullet might connect while he descends. But here we go, Boris with 30 frags so far. A bit of a focus on the B bomb site here from Heroic. They're going to have to push this, surely. A lot of resources on this side of the map. And indeed, they will start to push through. Gathering information.
Yeah, they're going to realize Tessis is actually really far in, so he's already should be knowing that something is up. Good little kill onto Boros to find him. Stown's the one that got the kill, but obviously really close for Shush listening in and realizing he was on the other side of the smoke. This is starting to look a little bit difficult for Falcons to bring through. Good shot, but Yabby's there in the return, and now the bomb has been dropped in the ladder room. So 2 versus 3, 40 seconds, and they're really far apart here, the last 2 Falcons players. What do they do?
Yeah, time is of the essence. They have no utility. 3 kills to find. MHL, though, doesn't miss many. So quick. This time, Yabby pips him to the post, and we'll see Cadian ducking and weaving, trying to buy any vital seconds he can to delay Longs, and there will be the first round of double overtime here going in favor of Heroic. But these rounds are coming right down to the wire. There hasn't been many convincing rounds, especially in overtime. It seems so chaotic. Pandemonium seems to ensue as soon as the commitment to a bomb site is established.
For a single elimination forward, this is what you dream of, right? You really don't want the really one-sided matches where it's just a blowout, because you're not going to have much of a chance to recover. So I love the fact that every round is being fought for in the way that it is at the moment. 18-19. You're right, first round of double OT, and it goes to Heroic. Maybe setting up a little bit of some momentum for them to play off of. Molotov, it's the right idea. They had the setup for it, but Stown, lucky to live.
Yeah, but he dished out 98 damage towards MHL, and he is still alive and well. Another key frag coming in here for Body. He's been great in this apartment position, but this is looking good for the 2-0. Yeah, it's a 5-on-3, but MHL, the walking wounded right now, can't really contribute with an opening frag. He needs MBK to step up. Longs will join him. They focus towards the connector right now, but Stown watching it like a hawk as the Falcons desperately try and get back into round number 2 here. Up close though, Testes with the AK-47 feeling like he can find this next kill, and he certainly can. Great positioning.
Yeah, they needed something. It's not going to be given to them easily. Lonks 1 versus 4 here in the middle. And obviously with only 45 seconds left, there's no way anything should be happening. Tess is able to bring him down, and he's had a real masterclass of a game, hasn't he? Just, someone from Heroic had to step it up, and for the Danish side, it's 31 kills on Tesses, tied up with MHL on the other side.
Yes, indeed, Anders. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, it's a little bit different this tournament. It's actually a single elimination bracket. Seeded, of course, and this is Heroic, one of the top seeds going against Falcons, a team that you wouldn't really expect to do much here at all. They're essentially invited due to being a regional team, in a sense, with the organization from this part of the world. And they've got Heroic on the ropes. Maybe not so much anymore, but the fact they're in double overtime is a statement in itself. This team can hang with the best of them. Yeah. They've got the talent within their ranks. They put in the hard work. And for now,
it's really encouraging, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The problem is with Nuke up next, I think this is about as exciting as it's possibly going to get in this series. It doesn't look good for the conversion here. If they can win this last round, maybe there's a chance, but a 3-0 would be a death sentence as Boros, the star player of Falcons, has been removed early, but it's down. That's interesting pathing. Don't know why he wouldn't just go back through the bomb side there.
Yeah, just made a large assumption that it was going to be free.
Yeah, he was out. He was home and dry.
Oh, look at Shush. He saw the drop down. He knew someone was coming. He heard body dropping off the fence. It's a little bit easier for him to get the kill. MBK, element of surprise was with him, but now he's just out in the open. There were 3 players that could afford him. Turns out it's KD to pick up the kill, and now the rest of them is running for it here. The chance to win at least one of these rounds here on the T side in the second overtime, slipping out of the hands of Falcons right now. And even more so with KD and getting the kill, 21-18. Heroic just need one more round, one of the next 3, and they're going to be able to pack it up and win Mirage, and that'll put them in a really, really good spot.
And the problem is as well, it doesn't really matter how close you get. If you don't win the map, it all counts for naught. And especially in this sort of tournament format as well. And it's looking like Falcons are done. Running out of gas here, 3-0 down. As you mentioned, one more will do it for Heroic on their T side. So they essentially have 3 lives. They can throw the kitchen sink and they can go for some aggressive maneuvers. So speaking of aggression, we've got MBK trying to find the opening kill once again. He'll be joined by Body, as the 2 Frenchmen will do their absolute best to find a couple of kills here, but that's exactly what they receive. 4 versus 2. I think we're all done here, Anders. An exciting game, an impressive performance from Falcons. They had the world's #1 team on the ropes here. They had them uncomfortable, 8-2 down on their CT campaign. Right down to the wire here. One of the most exciting games I've commentated in a long time. But now Lonks.
Even at the end, they were 13-9. They could have closed it before it even got into overtime, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen any longer. Lonks on his own here, and yeah, Falcons, they just put so much work into it, and I don't think it's going to be enough at the end of it. Lonks, hold on, hold the phone. He's going to get a couple of kills here. Stown, though, with all the health in the world, smoke up on the bomb. He's got the kit as well, but the problem is Stown is right on the other side. He's got the AK with all the bullets in the world to spray through, and then one of them connects, and he's going to be out of it. Lonks is really looking for it. He'd love to find this last one, but the dream has been taken away. Instead, it will be Heroic to steal the early map. Put everything that Falcons put into it. It just wasn't enough.